All right. Hey, everyone, and welcome back to Street Level Strategies. I'm Bobbi Jo Dallas, Customer Engagement Manager at Total Expert. And today in this episode, I am joined by Todd Barrett, Senior LO at Canvas Credit Union. How are you doing today, Todd?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good.
We just came back from a long weekend. It was Memorial Day. We're recording today on Tuesday morning. And so, thanks for being here. I know it was a long weekend, but we're here and we're ready just to talk a little bit about you, how you're leveraging the system and seeing value. But why don't you just start off and give us a quick little intro to yourself before we get rolling?
Sure, absolutely. So my name is Todd Barrett. I'm a Senior Mortgage Loan Originator here in Denver, Colorado. I've been doing this for a little over 10 years now. And so born and raised in Denver, been in the industry in Denver the entire time, and actually moved over to where I'm at now, Canvas Credit Union, about a year and a half ago.
Nice. And you were actually using Total Expert at your previous company. And so how long have you been leveraging the system in total, you think?
So I've been on Total Expert for about 6 years.
Nice.
So used it for give or take about 4.5 years at the old company. And then when we made the switch, we actually reached out to you guys. We were using it so much that wanted to keep using it and got it all set up over here.
Yeah. And so truly, I was on site with you guys a little bit ago. And one of the things that we quickly noticed is you are truly a power user of the system. And just like you're saying, even you had it at your old company and you came to this new company, right, at Canvas, and you're like, hey, I've been using this. This is how I manage my day. We need to use it. And so you guys actually reached out and got, the whole Canvas team back on the system. And so talk to us a little bit, because truly you are a power user. You use it every day. I saw that. I've seen your system, how you leverage it. I'd love for you to talk just a little bit about those things where you're like, I can't live without this. I need this for my day to day. And where are you seeing the most value in the system?
Sure, absolutely. So I really do basically, refer to it as the backbone of the business. I have everything set up into Total Expert where everything comes in automatically, both from Encompass and Blend, and then my personal website as well. I have everything routed into specific groups that I use, on a daily and weekly basis to make the phone calls, send the emails, send the text. And so I log in every single morning and I basically have my day plan there. Check birthdays first thing in the morning so I can reach out to those people. It's a warm, soft touch that you're not really trying to sell anything. You're not doing anything. You're trying to keep in contact with people, right?
Yeah.
And then, from there, I have it broken out into new leads that have applied, have not applied, working on pre-approvals, pre-approved list, in-process list, and then closed clients list. And so I actually use those groups, each day, and I have a certain day of the week that I call certain lists, and basically just use that as kind of the roadmap and the backbone of what I'm doing day to day.
Yeah. So what you're essentially saying is, so I saw what you've done. You've basically taken and you've yourself in your business have said, here are the people and the way that I want to break out my, database. And then you've done the work to say, hey, and you manage it every single day. You've built out your groups, and then you essentially every single day are in there, and you're actually going through these groups and you're actually adding as you go to make sure that they're up to date.
That's exactly right. Yeah. I mean, so I just have each day of the week, I have a certain, group that I call. So on Tuesdays, I call pre-approved people, or in-process people. On Thursdays, I call pre-approved. Fridays, we're checking in with, people who are pre-approved and potentially going to go under contract, seeing if I can send updated estimates. Mondays is kind of work on the weekend, call people, see if they're under contract, if I haven't heard anything, work on the contracts. So I just use those groups. And if you have them in there, it's not like you're trying to figure out what you're doing for the day. You just have the group, what day you're going to call that group and go through and reach out to them. And it just takes the running around and kind of scrambling each day to try and figure out what you're going to do out of the entire situation.
Right. So it's interesting that you say that, because one of the things and one of the biggest pushbacks I hear from loan officers is like, it takes, it's too much work, or they're working out of an Excel spreadsheet and they're managing things outside. Right. And then so there's folks who are like adverse to jumping into the tech and managing it and doing it that way. But then you're over here saying, this is how I streamline my day. How easy. So if you're talking to a loan officer who's doing that, right, and they're out of the system, it's too hard, they're using their Excel spreadsheet, whatever. What do you say to that? Like you clearly have figured out how it works, and what is the difference in your mind?
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, we've all worked out of an Excel spreadsheet, right? And you have to keep things updated. And so if yes, you can keep things updated in Excel. but you're going to spend a lot more time moving
Yeah.
people from list to list, updating information, doing all the various things. Where in Total Expert, I have it set up where, they come through Blend, which is the application software. They go to, my applied list,
Right.
and they're in there. All the contact information's in there. And then as we move through the process, it automatically updates those lists.
Right.
And so it moves them, from applied to pre-approved, and then from pre-approved to in process. And so it takes all of that work out of it. All you really have to do is create the groups. There's a couple, pretty simple rules, algorithms that are in there, and then it'll just move everybody through. And so you can set up journeys, you can set up updates to go out to these people, and it's happening in the background. It's happening without you doing the work. And then you're basically just there reaching out to them, making the phone calls, the texts, the emails, whatever it is.
Right. So one of the things you said is like, it's really good to give you a structure on how to who to call for the day, what to do. What other activities are you doing? So beyond just using those as your call list, are you doing anything else that you're seeing value with the system?
Yeah. So the biggest thing that I absolutely love about it is once it goes into in process, we have an in process journey or campaign that's set up. And so it'll automatically send out a, you've been submitted a processing email. It'll send that to the buyers. It'll send that to the listing agent, the buyer's agent. So you can have that all set up. So if I'm out on appointments, if I'm out doing things, they're getting updated. And then I'm still going to reach out to them when I get back to the desk, right? I'm still going to call them. I'm still going to update them, make sure there's not any questions, but they're all getting updated throughout the entire thing. And so no one's falling through the cracks on it. And then it'll alert you. You get CC'd on the email, you get an alert. So it's like, okay, they're approved. I need to call them, go over conditions, go over numbers, whatever it is. And so you actually, I come back from a coffee appointment, I know what I'm going to do for the next 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly. And thing is, it's funny because the borrowers and the co-borrowers are getting, information. You're also getting the same information. And then also the agents, right? The agents can also rely on the fact that you are sending the information. And sometimes they're even CC'd on the information. And that's a huge value add for agents. And I know you have a few key agents, right? That I hope, are seeing value in the system too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it keeps them, it makes us look like we're on top of it, right? Totally. And so nothing's ever falling through the cracks. If someone calls me and asks where we're at, I consider that a failure, right? We're obviously going to talk the entire process, but I don't ever want to get a phone call from anybody saying, I haven't heard from you in a week. Where are we? What are we doing? And the automation in that just completely takes it out of it. Totally. And so that way, when I do call them, it's more of a, how are you? How's life? Not what are we doing right now?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the whole goal, right? Is even you were talking about those, not transactional touches, but also like just the soft touches, right? And being able to say, hey, yes, we have the in process, but you're also just staying in front of these clients that maybe at the time when they are ready to, come back to you for a mortgage, you've stayed front and center in their minds and they're ready to come back to you.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it makes the job fun in that aspect, right? It's still work, but you're not trying to catch people up. You're not trying to reintroduce yourself. They already know who you are. They know where we're at. And so, it's just how was your weekend phone call? Any questions I can answer for you?
Yeah, you're just providing like exceptional customer service support and making sure they know who you are and value. Yeah. Cool. Well, okay. One last thing, and then we'll get this wrapped up. But one thing I wanted to say is, for someone who uses it every single day, and I try to talk to, tell loan officers, what can you do every single day to get yourself, in the system and start? Because some people, I think the fear is just like getting started. So from someone who leverages it every single day, do you have any advice for someone for any loan officer listening to this? Like, what's one thing that you can do right now to see value and start getting value out of the system?
Absolutely. So first step, get your contacts in there and just create groups, right? And create them however you want to create them. But create a group for new leads, create a group for in process, create a group for closed, and create, an couple agents groups. And then you can build off that. There's a whole lot more things you can do that I'm sure I'm not even, scratching the surface on. But if you just use it as, these are the people that I'm talking to, these are people I'm working with, and it's very easy to do it that way. And then you can build off of that. But that part is not overwhelming. It's not too complicated. Just put your people in there, and then you can start working on where you want them to go.
100%. Let it work for you. I love it. I love it. All right, Todd. Well, thank you so much for just jumping on today and just for sharing a little bit about how you're using the system and seeing value. We really appreciate you. All right. Well, we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.